What's up, y'all? I'm Lady, and today I'm here with a tag video. This tag is called Dilemmas of a Book Nerd tag. And I saw this video on Young Black and Gifted's channel. I will leave a link to her channel below. It was started by Lindsey's Little Library, her channel. So check out the original, and I'm going to get into this tag. This tag presents you with 10 different dilemmas that we face as book nerds. And I thought it was a really good tag video. So I wanted to really get into it. And plus, I'm telling you, Young, Gifted, and Black, she had me so tickled at watching her video and seeing her responses to these dilemmas. So the first one is book storage. How do you store and organize your books? I have a book room, and I also have a bookshelf that I keep in my bedroom. My shelves are organized by read and have not read. That's it. So on one bookcase, I have all of the books I've read that I own. On another one, unread books. And then I have a third bookcase that is a mixture of both, but the shelves are divided, you know, between read and unread. So that's how I store my books. I don't have the patience for color coding or alphabetizing or any of that. Just read and unread is how my books are stored. Dilemma number 2 says is tracking. How do you keep track of what you have read and what books you own? So I use Goodreads to track the books that I have read. And this year I did start keeping a spreadsheet of the books I read. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that going for 2020. So right now, Goodreads is my main tracking device. I don't have a tracking way of tracking for books that I own and don't own because I don't buy a lot of books. So I really have it up here for what I own. But one time I purchased something that I was just so sure I did not own, and I got home and I had that book on my shelf. Number 3 says borrow. Do you lend your books out? That's a no-no. I have one person that I trust to borrow books. I can tell y'all that I have went to somebody's house who will remain nameless and saw my books on their shelf like it was theirs, and I stole my book back. Okay. But I do have a cousin that if she doesn't get to the book in a certain time that she borrowed it, she will return it before she even gets a chance to read it. And so just for that alone, and the books are always in the same condition in which I gave her, she will always be able to borrow books from me. Everybody else, I say, try your local library. Dilemma number 5 is comments. How do you respond to the "how do you read so much" comment or similar comments? First of all, as adults, we are all busy, but I don't think that busy is an excuse because we make time for what we want to do, right? If you like, I don't know, cooking or knitting or sewing, you make time for that in your busy life. So that's how I usually respond. We make time to do what we want to do. And for me, reading is an absolute passion, an absolute love. And I just have to read. I have to read. Like writers, they sometimes say it's in them to write. It is in me to read. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Dilemma number 6. How do you pick your next book? I just keep a mental note. Like I have a shelf that's in my bedroom, which I made a video about. You all may be seeing that before or shortly after this video. But that shelf is my main go-to for what I want to read next. Other than that, you know, it's just up in the air. And BookTube, Bookstagram, I will admit, those are major influences in my next books that I read. Number 7 is travel. How do you pick what book or books you are bringing on vacation with you? I usually choose whatever I'm reading at the time. I bring that with me. Now, if I feel like it's going to be something sad and I'm going on vacation on the beach or something like that, I might pick a book that's specific to the area where I may be going, that I feel like if I'm, you know, at a cabin, would I feel good cozying up reading this? If I'm on the beach, would I feel good reading this particular book? And that's how I usually choose. But the majority of the time, I'm just packing away with me what I have already started to read. Dilemma number 8 says, annotate. Do you write or highlight or mark up any books in any way? I do not. I have, but I'm just not a technical reader. So I think that's like if I don't know. I just never really did that. And I don't make notes either. I think I want to change that in the future, to get a little notebook and write out my thoughts about a book. But then that starts to feel too much like schoolwork or something to me. And no. So yeah, I really don't. So dilemma number 9 asks, new or backlist? Which do you prefer, new releases or backlist books? Y'all, I have no way of answering this. I try to get down my backlist TBR as much as I can. I try to get to it, but new releases, I mean, there's no way around it, right? So which do I prefer? I'm actually gonna choose. I'm gonna say I prefer backlist books. I want to get to those books. It's a lot of books that's early on in my reading life. I read a lot of stuff that just really didn't feed me, purely for entertainment though. And so there are a lot of backlist books that I want to get to. So that's the one. I'm gonna say I prefer backlist. And the final dilemma, sequels. Do you read books as they are released or wait for an entire series to be published before reading one book? I try to stay away from sequels, actually. Most of the novels that I read are just, you know, standalone novels. I would say for like graphic novels, manga, those type of things, those type of books, I don't mind, you know, because they're most likely a series, and in those instances I do not have to wait for the series to be finished. And even if I do pick up a series, I'll read it as it is released. I don't have to wait for it all to be released at one time. So yeah, well, that is it for the dilemmas of a book nerd tag. If you have not been tagged for this video, consider yourself tagged. Y'all, people don't understand us book nerds and these different dilemmas that we face. So I really appreciate this tag here. I am Lady, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.